It's Tuesday. It's Mark Pires. It's Real Talk.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's Real Talk. It's the daily vlog, Mark Pires Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state, and I'm here with you on day 323 in a row of the Mark Pires Real Talk show. This show started on December 31st to bring you some light, to bring you some positivity, to motivate you through your day and remind you that you have something unbelievable within you. Something you just need to locate, and I'm here to help you tap into it. So every day, tune in, and I'll just bring something to you. I don't know what. I come in here unscripted on a daily basis for 323. And we don't just do a minute. I've been joking about this lately. It's never like I come on and I'm like, hey, I hope you guys are having a great day. See you later. It hasn't been that way once. For 323, I come on here and we go. We just let something happen. And my philosophy is you have to put yourself out there in life. You will never get anywhere until you put yourself out there. First of all, you don't even know what you're good at yet. You have no idea what you're good at or bad at. Oh, did that person tell you they were good at something? Ooh, I wish I was as good as that person is at that thing. No, that's not your purpose. Your purpose isn't to go and be good like somebody else is. You're destined to be amazing at something specific. The question is, are you going to look for it, or are you going to just sit back and let life pass you by? That's the question we all have to ask ourselves. You know, there's moments in your life, crossroads, constantly, actually, I would say. And I really don't believe there's a wrong road. I believe there's no wrong road. No matter what road you take, you're bound to wind up exactly where you're meant to be. You know, I got to say, these sales calls, is anybody like totally sick of the sales calls thing? I just can't deal with the sales calls. Like constant. And it's never like they're selling you anything you need, you know? Oh, the student loans. Ooh, IRS and the student loans are calling again. Do they call you? I don't think so. Anyway, so my topic for today. Do you need an in-town realtor? And I got to do this as a redo because I didn't realize when I came on, I had the volume down really low for some reason. So it was like, I couldn't even hear it. I was trying to listen back and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I don't know if it's, if you couldn't hear it at all or just a little bit, but I just figured, let me come back on and just do it again. And, it did about a half hour and then to have to come back and do it again. Actually, it was like 15 minutes. Let's try for a half hour now. Anyway, do you need an in-town agent? Are you a realtor and you have that question come up when you're sitting down with a client, especially a seller? You sit down with them and you give them your breakdown on the market and they say, well, where's your office? Well, my office is in New Canaan. Well, this property is in Westport. I don't know. Can you handle this property? Because you're not a Westport agent. Listen. I want to explain something to you that I think most people may not understand, but we are in a business where you have to be willing to travel. If your client wants to see something in a different town, you have to show them that house, first of all. Secondly, nobody knows every house in the market. I have a lot of people who say, oh, did you see my house? Did you show my house? Well, I show your house if I have a client for your house. I will view your house, preview your house if I can, if I'm available during a broker open house and the house is open. But there's no physical way for an agent to go and see all 428 houses on the marketplace. Or not. That's just one town, 400 in a town. And you want us to also somehow do business. They don't care about that, but I'm saying you have to go do business. So you can't go and just look at properties all day. That's not what you're here to do. You're here to look at the properties that your clients are interested in and provide them with the information that's valuable to them. There's no benefit to being knowledgeable about the entire marketplace. Ooh, I know it's sold in the 300 to 500 price point. Well, I would if I have clients looking in that price point. but I'm not going to go and stare at the entire market constantly just so I know in case that phone call comes in. No, tell me what you're interested in. I have access. You have access too, but not like I do. Tell me what you're interested in and I'll get in there. I think, that's the thing. Right now, I said this earlier, if you did catch that earlier broadcast, but in general, in 2019, 2020, the job of a real estate agent has completely shifted. They used to come into an office. This is before my time, but they'd come into an office, they'd sit down with you, and they'd say, hey, I'm looking for 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. I need to have at least 2 acres. And I don't want to be any more than 5 minutes from town. Okay, oh, give me a few things there, some criteria. That's great. Hey, okay, well, what do you have on the market? That's what they'd have to ask you. Like, what do you have on the market, Mr. Realtor, Mrs. Realtor? Because this is what I need. This is my criteria. What do you have on the market? Oh, well, I'm glad you came in today. Let me show you all of the properties that I have in this book here. And it was a funny thing because the realtors were basically the source of the information. If you needed to find out anything about anything, you went to the realtor. They had that info, or they can get that info for you. Now, I think most people don't realize that the shift happened, maybe it was before my time. I got into this business in 2007, in 2007, 8. And when I did, it was already fully switched over to the internet-based system. I do remember something. I walked into my office, maybe the first 6 months, they still gave the book to my old firm, my first firm. I remember that. I looked at it like once, and I'm looking through this. It was black and white photos, and it's the listing sheets, but no color. It's just black and white, and you're flipping through, and there's the information. There's one photo there, and you're like, oh, I wonder what that's how. You have no idea. Just think about what has changed since then. You used to look in a book. You see one photo in black and white. Fast forward to having photography online, you can see something. That's great. And all of a sudden, people are starting to get like really that antsy, like, I need to know now. I want this. I want that. 2, 3, they say maybe 4 to 6 seconds people will spend on that first photo that you have. So if it's not amazing, they're going to the next property. You need to have an amazing first photo. So that's why I thought of the drone in 2013. And I was surprised nobody else had thought of it, and that's why I just jumped right in and got it. We talk about often on this program that the importance of following your intuition. And I still remember the conversation I had with my wife when I bought that drone. She goes, you spent what? And I said, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. First of all, no one is doing that. Why isn't anybody shooting aerial photography of their properties with a drone? I'm thinking to myself. And I said, look, I see an avenue here. There's a niche, but not only that, I'm going to be able to provide my clients with something they don't have right now, which is an expansive view of their property. The first photo, a full 360, not even, but you got a nice 180 view from 30, 40, 70 feet in the air. Just that shot that makes you say, what else is what's inside? My thing is this, when I shoot aerial photography, because I shoot all my own shots, I'm looking for a shot that looks like $3 million and the house is 1.5. I'm looking for this shot. Then when you look at it, if you were just a consumer, you're walking by, you'd be like, oh, that house must be 2.2. No, it's 1.3. Like there is a way, there are angles in every property that if you grab them, you will have something unbelievable. Now, this was another funny thing. I remember I was on the news all year, 2013. Because I took that step, all of a sudden the FAA is saying, you can't fly your drone, you're commercial. And I said, oh, I'm not commercial. They said, yeah, you are. You're commercial. And so here was my thing. I didn't charge. I still don't charge my clients. It's free of charge when you hire me to list your house. I don't just shoot once. I go there every single month and I shoot aerial photography for your house because it's about changing the photos, shifting them out. SEO, you got to continually move things in order to create momentum within the property because if it stays there for a long period of time, it will get stale. So you have to move things. You have to constantly be shifting the photos. And I do that once a month. I don't charge my clients for it. But the FAA is saying, well, you're still commercial because you're selling that property. And when you sell that property, you're making a commission for that. So even though you're not charging them for that photo, you really are getting paid for that photo when you sell it. I said, geez, they're really reaching, aren't they? Tell them to come knock on my door. I'm not stopping. I didn't stop for a day. 2013, and now I still fly my drone whenever I need to get my shots. I have proof of use after this much time, right? 7 years of flying, expert, flying and not having any incidents. Like, I don't think I need to be bothered any longer. But I thought it was an interesting thing that one of the conversations that came up, and this gets back to know where you should be, okay? Know where you should be putting yourself, and don't try to do things you shouldn't be doing. It's the bottom line. And I remember a conversation came up, and my wife said, you just told everybody to buy a drone. And I said, yeah, that's fine, but that doesn't mean they have an eye. You could buy a drone, doesn't mean you have an eye. You need to be able to see the angles. You need to know which ones will hit those pressure points with a buyer. You have to have an artist's eye. So, yeah, go buy a drone. But there's a reason why photographers in this area are hired. There's a reason why I get the shots I get. Because we see things. Before we even bring the drone in the air, we see what we want. We just have to feel around to get there. It's almost the way I explained to you guys about improvisation. The way I can picture or explain improvisation to you, for me, the way I come up with songs, the way I let real talk flow, is I don't get in the way of the moment. I let it happen. You need to be willing to let life happen. When you start trying to control things too much, it goes very wrong, very wrong. Just stay the course. When this is telling you something, stay the course. I had some really amazing ideas before. I want to look back and see when satellite radio and satellite internet came out. Because it was 1997. I was driving up to New Haven, and my favorite radio show was disconnected on the way up. It was a talk radio show. I think it was Opie and Anthony, actually. I was driving disconnected somewhere between New Canaan and New Haven. And I remember I called my brother, and I said, I'm going to create satellite radio. I said, I want to be in Taiwan and still be able to hear that show. There should be no reason why I'm getting disconnected when I go between Stratford or wherever it was. I want to be able to create. I'm thinking to myself, how hard would it be? Use the satellites and just keep that signal running around the entire planet. No, you can never do that. The FCC, the blah, 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 it never happened, won't allow it. What do you know? I just forgot about it after that. Sirius XM. That was years later. Now, they may have already had the patents. They may have already been working on it. Or I may have just sent it into the universe in that moment. Because I do believe when you have a great idea, if you don't act on it, you've just sent it out for somebody else who's thinking, somebody else who's connected to catch. That's real, because the other thing I thought of was like golf simulators. I was like, look, there should be one in every single town. And you have leagues and you play against each other. And it was just like, that was where it should go. I'm sure that's where it's going. There's a guy who did that in Fairfield just this past year. Oh, you could have a league with friends and you play against each other. And I'm like, it's sort of my idea, but still, if you don't get out there and act on your ideas, you're giving them to somebody else. It's energy. You are giving that energy out into the universe. Somebody else is going to grab onto it. If I did not patent the BeatSeat, somebody else would be out there pitching it right now. And I'd be sitting there telling you guys in the show, I invented this thing. Somebody else out there, they call it the Guajuga box. But it was mine. I created it. I created satellite radio. No, you didn't. You had an idea and you didn't do anything with it. Have the idea and act on it. I should be sitting here telling you guys today that I was involved with Sirius and XM because I went and I pushed in 1997 and just delivered paperwork and pulled a patent. But I didn't have the ability to believe in myself when I was 19 years old. I didn't understand what entrepreneurship was fully. I didn't know I was an entrepreneur. I didn't understand that until I was maybe 22, 23. When I started writing music, 19, maybe I was 19, I don't know. But I didn't clarify. I definitely didn't define what I was. I had no idea what my capabilities were at that point. None. Started writing songs. I think the first time I had a song come out of me in the moment, that was something. one of my friends from high school, Chris Amatuli, he was with me. I was at his house, and you could hear this song on my website. You can go to BeatSeat.rocks, scroll down to the bottom. I have all 33 songs I've ever released to the public are on the bottom there. And you can hear I'm Gone. I'm Gone was selected as Song of the Year finalist in 2004 by VH1, when VH1 was still a thing. And they selected that song as finalist for Song of the Year, and I improvised it in real time with Chris Amatuli. He was sitting there with a mix board. I still remember this as clear as day. It was unbelievable. I just was so inspired because I had somebody on a mix board like that was interested in hearing me play. It was the first time, my buddy, he'd hear me play, but he'd never sat down and was like, let me mix. Let me take this board and and do your thing. And I just went, I created I'm Gone. And the crazy thing is, I have to find that tape. I have the 4-track tape of that somewhere. It is, if you listen to the song on my website, it is exactly the same. Word for word, chord for chord. And the lyrics to that song are completely insane. I cannot believe they came out of me in the moment. But everything great comes out of you in the moment if you let it. If you allow it. I think life is about allowing your true soul to breathe. And most of us are not doing that. Most of us are shut down because we're so concerned with what everybody else around us thinks. Don't even pay attention to that noise. Don't even think about it. You don't think I hear murmurs? What's Mark doing? I don't care. You know what I'm doing? I'm letting my soul breathe. What's your excuse? Go out there and just be yourself a little bit more. We need it. I feel like this world needs people to be themselves. And I think that's when we start to have breakthroughs. When you start to realize what your true intentions are, then you start finding what your purpose is. You start actually bringing some value to life. Bring some value to your existence. So I really jumped away from the topic of if you need an in-town agent or not. Let me just quickly get back to it, and then I'll tell you my perspective, because we're going to go forward. I have some news stories with you. Listen, I want you guys on Facebook to also understand something. I'm sorry you've been pulled in. This show's long form on Instagram. It's been long form since the beginning. I do an hour, basically a day on Instagram, and that's what you just heard is what we do. We just allow the moment to happen. And a lot of times we end somewhere and it's like, okay, what did we just come up with? And there may have been a few things in there. I don't know. You tell me. Someone shoot me a note. Someone say something over here on the chat. I'm chatting in here. I've got, let's see. I'm locking into multiple platforms currently. And this is awesome. So I wanted to chat with you about this topic, okay? Do you need an in-town real estate agent? The simple question is, again, back in the day, you did need to sit down. You need to find out what was on the market. This person had some information, and the only way you can get it was to sit down with them. Okay, so I got to walk into this office. Times have changed. I feel like when someone is looking for homes now, they don't want to be bothered. They do not want to be bothered. They want to do most of the work on their own. They want to research, they want to drive by, and if they like the location, if they like the opportunity at all, then they'll call a realtor. Maybe they'll call me. Most likely they're going to call the listing agent directly. So it's changed. Now, on the list side, do you need an in-town agent? No, you don't. Let me tell you why. Same reasons. I have access to everything. Now, typically all the realtors usually had that anyway. But there is no way to know everything. When you need something, let me know what it is. What you're looking for is, am I available to show you property? Am I available to show your house? And am I going to negotiate on your behalf? Am I going to fight for your value or fight to get you the best deal? That's what you want to know, not where I'm from. Ooh, you're not from Westport. Ooh, you're not from Fairfield. Ooh, I wish you were from Ridgefield. I could give you the listing. Why? What does it matter what town a realtor's from? If they learn the inventory within the price point so they could speak with some knowledge about the value of your property, it should not matter if they belong to the same firm that your town belongs to. Look, we're very tight-knit. Berkshire Hathaway, all of our offices, we're connected. If I get a property in a different town, I'm sharing that with that other town. We want to help each other. So it's not necessarily pertinent to have an in-town realtor. I also think it's impossible for one person to handle a specific town unless you've been positioned in that town for long enough where you have leads that are driven in your direction. If you're getting leads, then good for you. But most of us do not get leads handed to us. We need to earn new business. We need to find new clients. We need to keep our ears open here. What did you say about real estate? Did you hear something about? Did you say something about real estate? Literally, that's what we do. We have to be aware of every single thing that's going on around us, because if an opportunity comes to a conclusion and they don't share your name or your information with anybody, there's no opportunity beyond that. It's dead. That tree dies on the vine. So that's my brother-in-law always says that. He's like, Mark, you got to recreate yourself after every single transaction. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's crazy. And I've been doing it for 11 years. And you know what? I've been doing it effectively for 11 years, but it's not fun. It's not fun when you come to the end, when you finish up like 3-4 clients and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do next? Who else? Like, you only have so many friends and family, What I did, actually, I got to tell you, most of my business for the last 10, 11 years has been 99% not friends and family. I think it kind of interesting that most of the people I know that I went to high school with, for example, they all bought homes. They never even thought about me. Look, I'm not saying that they should have, but they never did. And I know I work my tail off and that I'll get a better deal, I think, than some people will for them. That's just my perspective, because I'm not going to just take the deal. I'm not going to just push them to say yes. I want you to get the best deal. So there's value to that. I told you guys the other day, I got a listing back. Other people are willing to cut their commission. I'm not willing to do that. You pay for what you get. I don't know. When you start devaluing yourself, what's the end there? And like I said, you start showing people you don't have any belief in your own value. How can you justify that you believe in their value? I just don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. So listen, let's get into a little something here. This is a song I recorded over the weekend. We're going to rock into some news right now, and I'll show you guys my new graphic. Check this out. Ready? We got some Real Talk breaking news. And over here, those are my social media channels. You should follow me over there. Turn on notifications. Ding that bell over here on YouTube. That's the new thing, I guess. I got to tell people to ding the bell. So check it out. I pulled 4 stories for you guys. I'm going to get into them. I get like tango-ish here. I'm like, just relax. All right, so let's get into this. So CDC expert, antibiotic resistance is worse than we previously thought. Now, this is scary for me, guys. I pulled this just because I'm really nervous. I got young kids, and I'm sure you may as well, or just us. Like, a superbug, otherwise known as an antibiotic-resistant infection, can potentially be lethal. And according to a new CDC report, there are more than 2.8 million superbugs in the U.S. each year, and more than 35,000 people dying from them. Guys, that's huge. 35,000 people dying from these superbugs each year, and 2.8 million superbugs each year. Each year! That's insane. Here's what they said it breaks down to. That really amounts to someone in the U.S., on average, getting an antibiotic-resistant infection every 11 seconds. And someone dying on an average of every 15 minutes. This is scary. This is very scary. And I guess what they're saying, this shows us down here how it works, but these germs have like artificial intelligence. They're just able to start reacting and shifting how we interact with them and how our bodies interact with them. It's scary, guys. So I don't know what we're supposed to do with that information. I just wanted to share it with you, that a CDC expert saying that it's worse than they thought. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So let's see what's next. This is a pretty interesting story I want to share with you guys here. I just found this and I thought it was cool. Aussie skydiver leaps from plane and lands on the back of a motorbike in New South Wales. Now that I just had to see. So let's see what we got here. Ready? Let's do it with the music here. What? That's insane. I mean, how did it even do that? That's completely nuts. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let's see what we got next, guys. I'm going to pass on this story. Oh, now this is really cool. So 9 out of 10 planets with 2 suns could harbor alien life. At least that's what the scientists believe. Let me switch you over so you can see the full screen. Shut up the news. No? There we go. So let's scroll here so you can see this. 9 out of 10 planets. You know, it just basically says that there could be life on other planets. And honestly, I've just been saying that for a long time. Like, I don't even know why the heck anybody thinks that's a question that people are saying that is not possible. Like, how could you ever think that we are the only things out there? Oh, well, the Bible says. Oh, well, my religion says. Well, maybe they just got it wrong 2,000 years ago. I mean, come on, guys. What are we just like, oh, somehow we wound up here. We're so special here on Earth. Now, I'm not saying that there are tons of Earths. I mean, maybe there are. I don't know. I don't know anything, but I will tell you we are not the only things out there. That I'm certain of. We were rocking it out here on the BeatSeat. You guys should be tuning in. Every Friday through Sunday night, I'm on the BeatSeat playing music for you. Now, 2 things I wanted to share with you. This Thursday, I'm going to be sitting on a panel for Stage 2 startups. It's an entrepreneur panel, 5 entrepreneurs. We're sitting there to actually just have a lot of questions coming at us. Going to be doing some networking afterwards. And this is put together by Columbia University as the Fairfield chapter, I guess. Betty Wong, who was here the other day on Real Talk, she's running it with Emily, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to get up there. They also want me to bring a BeatSeat, so I'm going to do a demonstration for them as well. And that's going to be 7 o'clock this week. I think it's 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll let you know the details at Coscob Library in Greenwich, Connecticut. And then this Sunday, we are going to be on the air. Let me see what that was. We're going to be on the air this Sunday with, this is for the BeatSeat, Rock On Radio. Check out at Rock On Radio. And this is going to be 7 p.m. on Sunday. It's actually going to be my wife and myself, which will be really cool. And I spoke to the DJ today. I said, look, I got a show that I broadcast on a daily basis. Do you mind? He was like, yeah, we're going to be live on YouTube. I said, that's really cool. Do you mind if I also set my cameras up and broadcast live on Real Talk? So he was like, absolutely. So Sunday, 7 o'clock, I'm pretty sure we will be live here on YouTube. And I don't think there's a limit on time on YouTube and Facebook. So we're there from 7 to 9 p.m. So tune in. We'll be on for the full 2 hours. We're going to be doing a demo. And he's a drummer. So we're going to bring a couple of BeatSeats. And we're going to play some songs as well, I think. Again, this all kind of happens in real time. We'll see how it goes. But I'm very much excited about that. So Thursday, check out the panel. If you're in the area, I tell, listen, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to get into this, you have an idea, you want to start a nonprofit or something, sometimes you just need a push. On Thursday, we're going to be getting together just to handle some questions. Let me get out of here. Hold on a second. We'll be handling some questions and giving some advice to young entrepreneurs, and actually it's more older entrepreneurs. So the thing we talked about the other day, and this is why Betty started this business, is most people are so impressed by the young entrepreneur. Ooh, the 22-year-old created some new whatever. And everyone's so impressed by that guy. But that guy could fail 100 times before he's 30 and he's fine, before he's 35 and he's fine. It's the guy who's 30, 35, 40 years old, 41 years old, has 3 kids, is pushing a real estate business all day long and then doing something like Real Talk and then somehow finding time to build BeatSeats at night. I got to build 2 BeatSeats tonight. And look, I love building them, but we have our manufacturer in line right now. They're ready to take over. I'm just waiting for that huge order to come in so I could say, guys, our manufacturers are taking over. So we're kind of on the last leg here of me building BeatSeats. I keep telling people you should get one now while they're hand-built by me, because if the BeatSeat goes where I know it's going, the hand-built ones will be worth something. There's like 50 of them out there. I was joking too. I was like, maybe I'll build like 5 or 6 and just keep them in storage. But I suppose I could just build one anytime. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I am going to head over to Instagram, guys. I just wanted to come back on here because I got the volume situation that happened earlier, which is a problem for me. You can't just put content out there and then people are seeing nothing happen. The other thing I was noticing too, when I switched over to this view, I wasn't getting any audio because I hadn't set up my audio input. There's a channel system over here. There's a lot of stuff going on here in the back end on Real Talk now. I mean, look, guys, we're here in the studio. We got that going on. We're going back to the front here. Where are we? No, we're going back to this one. We got all kinds of stuff. We'll get rid of the logo, right? But you got the camera. I got 3 cameras shoot now. How cool is that? I got the computer, me, and then there's the backdrop. I'm having too much fun with this, guys. Like, I want to go live all the time. And let me show you what else I got here. So you saw my intro. You saw the news, right? I'm going to do the outro for you, all right? Listen, I really appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow on the next Real Talk. I think we're looking at day 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 224, 224. I'm jumping by 10. Guys, we're only, you know what? I'll pull this up real quick. Oh, there's one more thing I have to share with you. Guys, see, this is what happens. The show starts to go, and then I'm like, wait, we have more. So this is pretty cool. We talk about having that something special within you. We talk about doing something unique, being able to take it to a whole different level. Roger Federer, my wife's favorite tennis player, my favorite tennis player too, I guess I would say. He's amazing. And 38 years old, he said he's not even thinking of retirement. And I think most tennis players, they start to call it quits around 32. Someone tell me if I'm right or wrong on that. And this guy's still doing it. And not only this, here's the thing. If he wasn't doing it at a high level, if he wasn't still winning tournaments, then he would probably retire. But he's still performing at the highest level. People that are 20 years old can't beat him. Does anybody know how old was Agassi when he retired? I'm pretty sure he was younger than this. And what is the oldest that someone has been when they won a tournament, when they won a major, when they won like Wimbledon or something? I want to know these things. Is anybody on who could tell me these things? Let me go on quickly and see if anybody's on Facebook who may know this answer. Hold on a second, everybody. Let's see, where's my thing? Let's go back over here. But this is crazy. He sees no reason to stop. Let's hear what he has to say.
Don't know the answer, to be honest. It's as long as I'm feeling good right now and I'm really enjoying my life on the road and enjoy playing against Sasha and the other players on the tour. I see no reason to stop, but of course with age everything gets a bit more difficult, but at the same time with experience also you can savor the moments more. So I don't know how it's going to end. I hope it's just going to be somewhat emotional, I guess, and nice, and I don't know. I just hope it's going to be good, the whole process, and not too difficult. The more funny thing was back in 2009 when I won the French Open and I won the 4 different Grand Slams and I broke the all-time Grand Slam record. Then the following month at Wimbledon, when I won Wimbledon again, I won the 15th Slam. That's when people already started asking me if I was going to retire soon. That was in 2009. So this is 10 years ago, and so I can handle this type of question. And I try to give always a good answer because I know that everybody cares and wants to know about it, but there's honestly nothing new there. At the moment, I'm very happy playing on the tour.
That guy's the man. Are you serious? Come on, guys. He is the man. I mean, that's a dude who just does not know what it means to quit because he's having so much fun doing what he's doing. If you haven't located what makes you happiest in life yet, you got to get out there and start searching. Don't sit back and wait for it to come to you because it won't. It's not a gift that comes to you. It's a gift that has to be found. You need to work for it. One more thing. So we got over here on the screen, the Real Talk podcast. I'm here every day with you, obviously, but these shows become podcasts. So if you like what we're doing here, go on and subscribe to the podcast. It's available on every single podcast platform. You've got iTunes, Breaker, CastBox, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Stitcher, and then you can get the RSS as well. But we have just the most recent is my Stage 2 startup founders, Betty Wong and Emily Smith-Kelvick, came in to discuss middle-age entrepreneurship. And like I said, that is a huge topic. And I did not know that 52% of new businesses are started by people north of 40. That is unbelievable. So very cool stuff. Go and subscribe, please, and check out the podcast while you're on your next drive. I often say I'm extremely animated, okay? So when you listen to me in the car, it's a whole different experience. You're going to get a different feeling from it. You're going to find different lessons, and hopefully you'll get something that makes you do like an unbelievable task for humanity or for yourself. I think that we are all helping each other find that spark. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I am going to head out. Let me give you the finals here. Hold on. Where are we? There we go. And so here's my outro. I will see you guys tomorrow on the next Real Talk. It's Mark Pires. And it's Real Talk.